A lot of changes. Brad B, you were signed by Universal Music. I know you were curious to ask Rock about getting signed by Baby Grant. And I just wanted to kind of...
Well, yeah, no, I was just curious how that worked. How, and I'm sure I've asked you this before, but like, how did you guys seek it out, or how did that come about?
They signed us to a deal. I remember getting a copy of the contract, and I took it to my stepdad, who's not a lawyer by any means, but he's an accountant, so he knows how to read some of the numbers.
He knows what he's talking about, yeah.
And he was like, y'all should not sign this contract. But, it was a label that we thought fit us very well. We ended up doing the tour with Jedi Mind Tricks and I remember the night we signed the contract outside of our studio on like 24th and Bethany, popping bottles of champagne in the parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
When we signed the contract, all 87 of us.
I know I asked you this before. I had to hear it again,
In hindsight, though, man, that may have been the absolute worst thing that we did as a group. Like that signing kind of led to kind of our demise a little bit around that time, because things got a little testy and people asking about money that wasn't really there. And, the money we did get was funneled back into, and we had that rap tour bus. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember.
We had the rap tour bus, and we we had a couple runs. Like I said, we did the run with Jedi and Nonfiction, which was really dope. And then we did. I remember we did the Knitting Room on Hollywood Boulevard. That was dope.
Was that popping?
Yeah, it was fun. That was a fun night. That's a legendary night.
The Knitting Factory or the Knitting Room or
Knitting Factory? Yeah, on Hollywood Boulevard. That was a movie. That night was a movie. Like the show was a movie, and just the after events and everything that occurred on Hollywood Boulevard. Shout out to my cousin Marty for finessing like drunk people trying to get into the venue, because he said he was TSOI security. Like, it's funny because me and my cousins still joke about that night, because he was like, yo, I really told that dude I was your security. And I was like, yeah. And they believed it, and they bought it.
Wow. One of your favorite fans, one of your favorite experiences. I want to talk about one of your favorite rappers, Andre Benjamin.
I get such a bad rap for my take on Andre. It's not that I don't like Andre. It's not that at all. I just don't put Andre up in the rafters like everybody else does. But I'm not I'm not a huge Outkast fan though either. Like, I like Outkast, not like everybody else does.
Let me ask you this. Do you listen to any new rap these days? Anything that I need to be put on to? Because I'm
Griselda.
I'm loop, man. What?
Griselda. West Side Gun, Benny Conway.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Griselda.
Those guys are Oh, Monica says hi, by the way, bro.
Oh, what up, Monica?
Yeah, I'll let her know.
Word.
Yeah, man. I love your sister. She's so dope. And I miss you too, man. I miss Arizona and all the homies. And
I miss my friends, bro. I miss seeing my friends. Like,
yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
I wanted to ask you and maybe end with some new poems that you've been working on.
Oddly enough, earlier this week, my man Cisco, he goes by Lost Perception. He was a part of the council, which was the production team behind Soul Reflections. And we were talking. He's doing the if you're on Instagram, the Sunday school beats.
Sunday school beats.
Yeah.
So that's Cisco Lost Perception. He's been killing it.
Right.
He texted me on like Tuesday, just checking in, see how I was doing, and then he asked if I was writing, and I said a little bit here and there. Mm-hmm. But his next response was Soul Reflections 2 ? I was like, oh, all right. So he's like, dope. He's like, I'm gonna start cooking. So once he said that, I gotta start cooking.
See,
I haven't really like wrote the way I used to in a few years.
Me neither.
I kind of like, I don't know, like I kind of like I took a few steps back from doing the music and poetry. Like the first annual hip hop festival, like in 2017, 2016, maybe 20. I remember the first one. I was fortunate enough to get to perform at Comerica, and that was like to me that was my like, I'm bowing out, like I'm done, like I'm not gonna record no more. I'm not gonna perform. You know, I did this for, at that point, almost like 15 years. Like I'd been doing this. And I just wasn't as interested. Like I didn't want to put the time into it, you know, trying to focus on other things. So I really haven't done a whole lot of like performing since then. I got a couple like features that I owe people. Judgment's doing an album from TSOY. He asked me to get on something, so I'm doing the joint with him. And then with this development, I never thought I would get myself back into album mode, writing mode, and
see, I knew you would.
Because
I remember when you told me you were like, "No, I'm done." I was like, "No, you're not."
Yeah, they were right. They were right. I mean, it might have been like 5 or 6 years, but it's I think it'll be good, man. I got a lot to say, and you know, just deciding the direction that I want to go. I kind of have an idea of how I want to, like, I got the framework of the album, how I want to do it. I got some people in mind for some interludes like I did on the first one, because on the first one there's four songs that are just interludes of some of my favorites at the time. So my man Ocean, Judgment, Blaze Rock, my man Trife, they have their own like solo track on Soul Reflections, because I handpicked all those guys for that at the time. So I think I'm going to continue that trend and have the interludes. There's a couple songs I want to do where I got some people in mind for a guest spot. So it's just a matter of now putting the pen to the pad and shaking the rust off, man, because it's been it's been a while since I've really like sat down and like done it like in thought that it was good enough to share with somebody, because I am my own worst critic. You know, people think I critique and I'm hard on everybody else, and I am, but I'm 150,000 times harder on me. Like I hold myself to a very high standard.
I'm the same way.
You know, like
I hate everything I do.
Like I always feel like I could do better. And then
dude,
like other people,
that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. No. So it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I definitely am gonna have a song. They will definitely be a TSOI record on the album. I'm gonna get everybody back together for a joint. There's gonna be a Writers Guild track, because I may not be an active member of the guild, but I am one of the OG members of the guild, which is Random, Pennywise, Miranda. Slop Funk Dust.
So Rocky Tirade just I saw something, he posted something about the NAACP.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, man. He that's another brother I am extremely, extremely proud of.
Hell yeah.
Rocky really got involved. And he was out there on the front lines in the streets. He's on a panel with the NAACP that's going to help non-emergent police calls to try to keep the police from responding to certain types of calls, because some of those calls have a higher incident rate, you know, because the train's not there and whatnot. You know, so I'm extremely proud of that trend, because he was really in like music mode, and then he just kind of like switched it up. And he's been like nonstop on the activism side, and like I said, I could not be prouder of him.
Man, big up, Tirade. That's cool. Yeah,
not only is he a prolific MC, he's a good brother, man. He's a good person. He's got a good heart. He rubs certain people the wrong ways, and that's whatever, man. He may not be everybody, but man, Tirade is a really good dude, and like when I say I'm proud of him, I'm like legit proud of that brother, man, because he really stepped up, you know, and started.
Man. Hell yeah,
very commendable.
Definitely.
Very commendable.
Well, Rock, we're
it's
closing
super
in on
dope.
an hour here, and I just wanted to give you an
Yeah.
opportunity to let people know, where they can find your music online and get in touch with your work. Do you have a website or is
Yeah.
there something? Throw that out there.
You can do Roknowledge, ROKNOWLEDGE.bandcamp.com. If you want to check out Soul Reflections, it's up there. You can go to thisismylifeinword.wordpress.com. It's my blog. I'll be honest with you, I haven't updated the blog in forever, but there's a lot of writing on there. There's also the Matt Mania podcast, where every week we drop every week. So you can find us wherever you get your podcasting from. If you're into pro wrestling, that's the place to turn, because that's what we talk about. It's very pop culture heavy. But yeah, so every week on that. And Rhyme and Reason is kind of been on a hiatus for a few years. Maybe it'll come back. We'll see.
It'll come back.
I definitely miss the radio days.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, on the socials, Roknowledge, ROKNOWLEDGE. That's the name on Instagram, Twitter.
Word up, man. It's great to see you, brother.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise. This is a good time.